it was pretty smooth sailing until 9/11. But even before 9/11, people go back where you came from, you know, stuff like that. But after 9/11, it got pretty bad.
I visited a school for one of my restorative justice classes, and they're very tight on security. And so, I guess someone that looks like me had never walked through those gates before, and they asked me to remove my coat, which was fine. They asked all of us to remove my coats, and they asked me to remove my cardigan. They asked me to remove my headscarf, and I was like, I can't do that. And they were like, well, why not? And I said, you're asking me to take my clothes off. Like, you're asking me to take, like, it's like me asking you to take your underwear or your bra off. Like, are you comfortable with that, really? Like, taking your shirt off, your shorts off in the middle of public? I don't think so. So why would I be comfortable taking, like, half my clothes off? And it was kind of ridiculous. And the man was incredibly rude, and he was like, well, I'm sorry, we can't let you in, and he walked away.
One time, walking down with a dope, like, what chef woman was wearing, you know, I remember someone called out, like, while they're driving, like, you effing terrorists, and it's just like, okay, like, I mean, are you any better? Like, what, you just, you know, you're just being very rude, and, you know, these type of portrayals, it doesn't help, especially when, like, you want to practice your faith more heavily, you know. Like, now that I have a beard, like, I mean, somewhat, like, I could go off as, like, a hipster type person, but for our sisters who wear the hijab, you know, it's harder for them because, you know, that's definitely a sign that they're a Muslim, and, you know, there's been many cases that they've been assaulted or, you know, abused.
9/11, I was living in Midland, Texas, so that was not the best situation to be in as the son of an immigrant.
I've been working in tech for over 15 years, and I remember, I think I was probably 5 or 7 years into my career, and, you know, I'd gone to happy hour with the leadership in our group, and I don't drink, but I was there and everybody else was starting to get a little buzzed, and, you know, people get comfortable and they say whatever they want to. And I remember one lady came up to me, and, you know, she was an executive, and she was like, oh, you know what, I just want you to know I love you, but you're never gonna get promoted while you wear that. And I was just blown away, first of all, by the fact that she would say that, but second, I was like, what else am I missing when people are buzzed? I need to go to a happy hour more often to, like, hear the real deal on, like, what's going on, you know? And, you know, I joke about it now, but at that time, I was floored. I didn't even know what to say, and, like, she said this out of the kindness of her heart, you know, like, hey, you're gonna be okay as long as you're in our group, but you need to be careful.
I was walking home, as I did every day, and I was surrounded by the football team. I was in 7th grade. They were also in 7th grade, some in 8th grade, surrounded me. Football teams are pretty big. They were, you know, completely surrounded me and just harassed me. Your people did this. Go back to where you came from. And honestly, at the time, it didn't quite faze me. I just sat there, and I was actually eating a bag of chips and I didn't even stop eating my chips. I was just saying, it's like, you know, it wasn't my people. Like, I'm Palestinian. Most of the people who did this were from many different countries. None of them were even Palestinian. So, but that didn't matter. Nobody seemed to care what country I was from. They just were angry and decided to target somebody.
It was a reality check. It made me realize that I have to work harder, and I have to be better, and I have to have an immaculate record, unfortunately or fortunately, right? Because I don't want anyone to be able to question my contributions or the caliber and quality of my work. And I just took that and made it part of, you know, the fabric of who I am. I have to do work that I'm proud of, and that no matter what, the validation comes from here, not outside.